G'day, Jonathan.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Good to be here.
How are you?
Not too bad.
What would you like to talk about today?
I was thinking we might explore my relationship with my father.
Okay, that sounds like an interesting topic. What would you like to share about your relationship with your father? Tell me about it.
Well, he's a bit of a strange man. He's sort of very childlike in emotional respects. He has a lot of difficulty empathising with other people.
Okay.
A lot of the things that he says, even though I don't think there's any real intention of being mean or degrading or anything. It's just there's no thought in how the other person is going to take it.
Okay. So he's not aware of how his reactions to things, his emotional reactions to things, are impacting other people.
Yeah. So he's become isolated from the rest of the family. Like him and my mum have been divorced for 10 years now. My brother's a lot more temperamental than me, and they're not on speaking terms anymore. You know, because he gets drunk and he rings up mum and just, rambles stuff. She won't talk to him anymore. I'm the only one that sort of takes time to stay in contact with him. And I think I do it more out of a sense of obligation.
Okay.
Not to make him feel better, but because it's the right thing to do. Because he did provide for us. It's not like he's a bad person. He didn't beat us or intentionally do anything. He was just always wrapped up in his own world.
So everybody else is he's sort of pushed everybody away with the way he emotionally reacts to things. He's pushed them away, your brother, your mother.
Yeah.
But to you, you feel an obligation that you should be there for him. You can't leave him alone.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And this sense of obligation comes from the fact that your father provided for you when you were a kid. How else? This is a pretty strong word, obligation. So, how else can you apply this idea of being obligated to your father? What is that? Tell me more about that.
It's just basically from the tenets that I decided to live my life by. I wanted to be an honourable kind of person. You respect your elders, and when I was young, I read a lot about psychology and philosophies and things, and I've found a great deal of wisdom in a lot of the Eastern teachings. Following the middle path. Some Confucianism, and it feels like the right thing to do.
Right.
And I'm not entirely sure if I'm doing it for him or if I'm doing it for me.
Okay. But in any case, you're driven by this sense of doing the right thing.
Yeah. And
it is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's the right thing to do for your father or the right thing to do because deep inside you it's what you got to do for yourself to know that you're living true to what's in you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're really driven by that sense of doing the right thing.
Yeah. Like he's sort of isolated himself geographically as well. He lives about 8 hours away in a little town called Monto. It's a bit west of Hudson. You know, and he keeps saying he wants to see his grandchildren and he'd like us to come and visit. And you know, we've tried it once, but he doesn't make any effort to make us welcome or, you know, there's never any space in his life for anyone else. It's always about what people can do for him.
I'm sensing there's a bit of frustration with your father. Like, it's interesting. You've got this sense of obligation to him, and it sounds like you'll always, as long as you're true to yourself, you'll always focus on that sense of obligation. But you're also frustrated that he's not doing what he can to really maintain or repair the relationships he has with people.
Yeah. He says, I'll come down and visit and things, and he never does. And then he'll have a few drinks because he's an alcoholic. So, you know, and he'll ring up and, why don't you listen, why don't you that? He wants us to move up there, which is just completely ridiculous. You know, at this point in my life, I know there's no point arguing or reasoning with him.
Right.
It's just a case, the best thing I can do is sort of just listen to him for a while and mollify him and try not to let that upset me.
Yeah. I just as you were talking, before you even explicitly said it, I had a sense that you've got this belief that it's inevitable that he's going to let you down.
Yeah.
That he's not going to do or take the steps needed to maintain these relationships. It's like you can see him messing it up before it even begins.
Yeah.
That's sad in a lot of ways. I mean, you obviously want to see your father improve.
Yeah.
You want to see relationships improve. You want to be a part of that. That's why you're there. That's why you've got that obligation for it or to it. But maybe there's that sense of hopelessness there as well.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's just turned 70 this year. He's not going to change at this point. He's actually deteriorating because of the drink. And, you know, his eyesight's starting to fail a little bit. You know, it's going to be a burden, and because I'm the only one that gives a damn. But we can't have him in our house because I live with my mum. It's got a joint mortgage.
Right.
She lives out the back in the granny flat. And she's got a partner, and he's more of a grandfather to the kids than their real grandfather.
So there's this real impending or growing feeling that it's just going to get worse. Or it's just going to get more of a burden than anything. What you mentioned he's getting older. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm also sensing that there's a feeling of loss in that this is it. I mean, he's not going to change now. As he's getting older, it's less likely he will. Maybe there's less and less hope.
Not really. I sort of gave up on that. You know, I've accepted the way that he is. Quite a while ago. It's not like that I regret it so much. It's just a shame that you can't experience these things. You know, because I know myself, I'm a lot like my father in many respects. You know, I'm very analytical and sort of standoffish, and I'm quite content to be solitary most of the time. But I'm still able to form deep relationships with people. You know, I'm still aware that there's social contracts that you have with people is a very important part of what it is to be human.
Okay, right.
You know, and having a loving wife and kids of my own, you know, they're my core group, and having that is a real good thing, I suppose, for me.
Right. So maybe the loss I was mentioning then, maybe it's more a loss from his perspective of what he could have had.
Yeah.
Or what he could have changed.
Yeah.
And you've accepted that he's probably not going to change. So to you, that's just sad.
Yeah.
He's missed these opportunities.
Yeah.
And where do you think this sense of importance that you place on deep, valuable relationships comes from?
It comes from not being understood as a child. Because as a child, I look at the behaviours of other children, and I was always, I wasn't always that much smarter, but the way I saw things, I could organise things and pattern things a lot faster than other people, which gave the impression that I was very clever, because I could access information and I could put the answers together a lot faster than other people. But because I wasn't academic, well, I was academically inclined, but because I wasn't focused only on knowledge and data and stuff, I didn't really fit in with the academic kind of people. I didn't fit in with the other kind of people. And I was always basically on my own. And I realised that at a very early age, that I was going to be one of these kind of people that was going to have a pretty lonely existence until I found someone that complimented me. And when I met my wife, she's a completely different person to me. She's got no appreciation for a lot of the things that I appreciate, but the way that she loved me, it was an unconditional love that I hadn't experienced even really from my parents. And having that with having that with my children as well. I see it for the blessing that it is. It is something very special. And I just don't think that my dad has ever been able to appreciate that kind of.
It's interesting that you both come from a space of isolation. You're on your own, but somehow from that you've learned, and you learned early on, the importance of special, deep, important relationships, and how important it is to maintain relationships.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I did have my dad to learn from.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah.
I looked at him and I was like, I don't want to be like that.
So maybe this links with that sense of obligation you feel then he's taught you, without knowing it, to value relationships.
Yeah.
And it's a real pity that the man who taught you that doesn't even know he taught you that, and is unable to benefit from the knowledge you now have, or the understanding you now have. Okay. we're at a short of time. Maybe we can continue this next session. I think it's very interesting that we've learned a little bit today, or I have anyway, about you and what you hold dear, the importance you place on relationships, why this sense of obligation you have is so toward your father is more than just I'm the only one left. So I'll be there. You know, it's deeper than that. It comes down to the type of man he is, the type of individual you are, and how you've grown over time, and the obligation comes from your desire to, or deep wish that your father could benefit from relationships the way you have. Okay, maybe we can discuss this further next time. Okay. Thank you.